got something to say, say it.
It was fate that compelled me to bring you seven together. We can save the world by stopping Savage tonight.
Savage still has Carter and Kendra.
The object that has bound the two of us together will give us the power to rewrite destiny.
3 meteorites in 3 different time periods to render Savage mortal.
What we gotta do is kill Savage 3 times. One last jump.
You're too late.
Time Master's never late.
DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Season finale Thursday at 8, 7 Central on the CW.
So I want to call you Ray, and because you're so...
Well, it's appropriate.
Well, because I think this is the longest you've ever played this character in one iteration, right?
It's the longest I've played any character, yeah. Ray. I think I'm becoming Ray.
The finale is tomorrow. What can you say about it?
The finale's tomorrow.
I'm not laughing.
There are a lot of big changes for the team. Obviously, those who watched last week's episode know of a pretty big change that happened to shake up for the team. And that will have a big impact, huge impact on what happens in the finale. Mick and Ray start to bond a little bit more in a deeper, more meaningful way in the absence of his partner in crime. And you know, the team kind of takes a step back at a certain point and kind of looks at what they've done and everything. And obviously, we have a big climax with Vandal Savage coming, which we've been building to the whole season. So
yeah.
we'll definitely deal with all that and the implications of his savaging the world.
You seem, I mean, from the interviews I've seen with you and from just talking to you briefly backstage, you seem a lot like Ray, laid back, funny, personable. I mean, you really kind of, Ray is the heart of the series, I would say.
Well, thanks. I'll take that. You know, we all have a big part in creating the heart. Ray just wears his heart on his sleeve, so it's easy to give him that quality. Yeah, I mean, the wonderful thing about playing Ray is that I get to bring a lot of my own personality to him, and I've been given that freedom by our wonderful producers and writers to do that, and I think that's what has made me love him even more, and help me even as a person kind of grow a little bit as I can kind of live vicariously through Ray and his excitement about technology or the future or whatever that is, and really bring that out and not hide it. And that's what's so much fun to play about him.
Are you as much of a science geek as he is?
I'm not. I mean, you know, I do love science. I'd say I am a geek about health science and nutrition science. So not necessarily.
As anyone who follows him on Instagram would know, thank you very much.
Yeah. Talking about bulletproof coffee and healthy eating. I could do a lot more, but I try to save people. Someday I may do like a dedicated Instagram or Twitter account for health and nutrition, but I don't have time for that yet. Nor do I think I really know everything there is to know about said subject. But if you corner me, you may and ask me a question about it, you may be wishing that you didn't, because 30 minutes later I'm still talking about it, just like Ray Palmer.
Yeah, I saw your post recently about why you no longer eat cereal, which I agree with you on.
Yeah, I mean, it's comforting, certain cereal, but
for the most part, especially we both have kids, you know,
yes.
the impact of cereal.
Yes,
Yes.
Indeed. There are other things
that are healthier.
that give more energy.
What is it like wearing that suit?
You know, it's really cool. It's great for an hour, and then at which point, beyond an hour, it starts to wear on my back and compress my spine a bit. Sorry, I have a cough drop in my throat. If I sound strange, so that I'm not coughing through this interview. So the suit is a two-part. two-parter. I put it's not spandex, but it's like spandex latex, kind of like a wetsuit, two-piece thing that goes on, and then I go to set, and then I get my armor on, and I have a couple lovely gentlemen and a few ladies who help me. Usually just one at a time. I only need one, but they cycle in and out. They kind of act as my squires, if you will, in the night scenario where they put on my armor. My boots and the legs go on one at a time, snap together the belt, chest piece goes on, arms come on, and finally the helmet. So, you feel awesome. Without the suit, I wouldn't feel like that version of the Atom. So it's really a part of the character, but it does start to wear on you after a little.
I would imagine that it's probably very just intense, and the show's very physical to begin with, but that suit must be pretty heavy.
Yeah, the worst part about wearing the suit is when we're not doing anything that I need to be in the suit for. Like we're not doing fighting or anything like that.
And you're just
I'm just
hanging
standing around talking, or I'm a shoulder. So you call that like a shot is dirty of me. So I'm in the frame a little bit to get perspective, and we're shooting Donna over my shoulder, and I'm like, guys, can I get out of this? Because can you just shoot this clean? Really? Because I've been in this for 8 hours.
But yet, your kid must be enamored when he sees Dad in the suit.
He is. He hasn't seen me. I have a 3.5-year-old son, and he hasn't seen me in person yet. That's soon to come when we start the new season. But I've FaceTimed with him, and he thinks it's pretty cool. I mean, we basically refer to me as Dad. He plays a robot on TV. Because explaining the whole Atom thing is a little bit beyond right now. And he knows Superman. He watches Teen Titans. So he has some familiarity with the comic book universe to a degree. But I don't think he understands the whole scope of Daddy playing superheroes, what that means.
On this huge show with this massive fan base.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, he still thinks he's faster than I am. So, gotta let him dream for a little while. He will be faster than me someday, I have no doubt.
But not right now.
But not right now. I got that over him right now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure you know, this is Superman right here in front of you.
Thank you.
This fan right here clearly knows. You must get that.
I'm the old Superman now. That's how I possess it. Yeah. Are you the? No, I'm the old Superman.
But how did playing Superman influence how you play Ray/the Atom?
Well, it made the whole transition much easier. I knew the expectation, not the expectations, but the demands of being in a suit and the demands of playing a superhero. So I was kind of old hat at that, which was really great because the whole that was a big part of transition for of learning time of learning during Superman. So I got to cut that line and just really enjoy it, my time even more. And things that I didn't get to finish with the Superman legacy, I get to kind of put into this character a little bit. That wasn't my intention at all in the beginning, but as Ray has gone on, I've played him longer and longer. Ray gets to be the human. To a degree, he's trying to be the human version of Superman's ideals. I think the way Superman sees the world, I think, is in line with the way Ray sees the world and the goodness in people, the glass half full, and kind of pushing that agenda. Those are things that kind of cross.
Now, when you say that playing Superman prepared you for entering the superhero universe, in what sense? I assume like the press demands, the media exposure, the fan response, all of that.
Yeah, critiques about the suit, what I look like in the suit, whether I'm right for the role, all those social, and now with social media, it could be even worse, but I pay very little attention to that. The other thing that ever bothered me with Superman was when people said, "Oh, he's not big enough. He's not big enough." I'm like, people, I'm working out like crazy. I can't get put on 25 pounds of muscle for this job.
Not to mention, he was a reporter.
What's that?
He was a reporter at a newspaper.
Well, yeah.
It's not like he was,
Yeah, to fit in. Exactly. Anyway, so those responses or that attention, and then just literally the time it takes to get in and out of the suit, the demands of standing around and people poking and prodding you, and fussiness and just not getting frustrated, but going, okay, no, this is part of my job. This is what I do. And in the scheme of things, this is not a big deal. I have a great job, and just step back and have a larger view of the opportunity that I have and the cool thing that I get to do, and to know that people are really affected, and some people are really affected in positive ways by being entertained, or whatever they get out of this. There is value in it.
No, the show obviously resonates with fans. I mean, you see these, online Q&As that you guys do, and the fan response is crazy. Which of Ray's storylines has stuck with you the most?
Ooh, good question. Well, I mean, the current. I suppose the current. And the current and ongoing struggle between Rip and Ray is destiny versus fate and creating your own. And I think that is part of Ray's journey and his mission to jump on the Wave Rider and go on this mission was to, effectively change what had been his perceived fate at this point in the Arrowverse. And he really wants to go out and make an impact and help people and change and not believe that he's being a puppet. And then we find in the last episode that they kind of have been that for so long. So it's almost like now is the whole new world. And that's very exciting. And I think that's speaks to a bigger audience, that whole idea of are we in control or aren't we?
How do you handle the physicality of the show?
We have I like it. It's a little more challenging to fight when I'm in that suit. It's pretty mobile. The good thing is I don't have to worry about getting hit because I'm pretty armored up. So I worry about the stunt performer or the other actor that I'm fighting, so I'm not hurting them. So that's nice. And thankfully Ray, the Atom doesn't get into too much fisticuffs. So I don't have to do as much in-depth fighting as say Katie Lotz does and Sierra have had to do as Hawkgirl and as White Canary and Hawkgirl respectively. But it's challenging. I mean, so just being in the suit is physically demanding. Sleep is important. Diet, nutrition is important. I haven't had a lot of time to work out. I prioritize sleep over working out most of the time. So I'm hoping next season to get a lot more working out done than I did this season. But it's all about scheduling and prioritizing and then not stressing if you don't get those things done, because then you're going to ruin yourself stressing that you didn't do something that you thought you should have done. So it's just following the mental spiral that you can get into.
God, how do you get such good perspective?
What's that?
How do you have such good perspective?
Thank you.
You really do seem to have such a healthy attitude.
I mean, I've been doing this at this level, I've been doing this for 10 years, 11 years. I've been acting for 15 or 16 now. I don't know. I'm kind of an introspective person. I like to figure things out and get myself to work better and feel like how can I be a better teammate? How can I be less of a drag to other people? And how am I perceived? I like to... Sometimes I've gone through life not realizing that I've been judgmental or that I've been demanding or some other adjective you could attribute. And I've had, my wife is very helpful in showing me those things and having communication about that. But it's just part of something that's important to me. I mess up sometimes. I don't realize that. But I want people to like me. And when I realize that they don't, or that I've done something and I'm not aware of my interactions, then I go back and go, okay, well, how can I make that? How could I have made that interaction better and take I mean, usually it starts with taking responsibility for me. What could I have done better, or what can I take responsibility in that engagement that didn't serve me and put me in a bad state.
It's like so nice to hear. I mean, really. And you seem to embody that, which is lovely.
I'm getting older, so...
Well, yeah. Getting older, you kind of don't have the time anymore, right, to, fixate on all that stuff, so...
I mean, I do fixate it on it, but I guess I'm just always looking for a way to make it, to improve it.
And I have to ask you, what is it like working with Victor Garber, who's one of my absolute favorites?
Victor's amazing. He's such a fantastic presence to have on our set. Wonderful to work with.
He gives the show so much gravitas.
He does, really. I mean, anything he says, he could read the phone book, and you'd be enthralled by it. He's a marvel, and it's such a boon for our show to have him, for our show to kind of have several different ages, I think is awesome. It makes it very unique and different from the other shows in the Arrowverse, and he's a wonderful human being.
And Ray deals with a lot of very, very stressful situations on the series. How are you, Brandon, in a crisis?
Well, pardon me. I like to think that I'm amazing, but that's not always the situation. I think in my past I was a little bit more anxious and focused on the problem. So my journey in filmmaking and television making is kind of like a microcosm for life. And so now I do my best to know that there's a crisis, but step back and see what's the bigger picture and how do we function and what do we really need to do, what's really the problem, and take care of those things first. I say I'm okay and getting better in an emergency.
I like that.
My wife is much better at. She's just fascinating at just taking care of what needs to get taken care of. I'm taking lessons from her.
Like something falls apart and she like cracks the whip.
Yeah. I need to pick up the pace, pick up the slack.
And now for our audience, I'm sure you guys have some questions.
Hey, Brandon. Good to see you. It's great seeing you as another superhero character on TV. I remember you played a villain in Scott Pilgrim, which is one of my favorite movies also. How was that like compared to playing some
It was
character?
awesome. I loved playing Todd Ingram. Just kind of being ridiculously over the top was so much fun. I got to learn to play bass. I got to be in a band. I mean, we had band rehearsal and played on a stage. My first time, I'm a musician of sorts in high school, playing trumpet and other instruments, but never like a rock band. So that was really cool. And working with the whole cast and working with Edgar Wright, who's an amazing director and a genius and a really genuine nice guy as well.
Next question.
Hi, Brandon.
Hi.
First of all, congratulations on season 2.
Thank you very
really
much.
Excited about it.
Thank you.
On that note, is there any DC character that you'd want to see on the show next season? Any hero, villain, otherwise?
Well, I want to see some of our friends that are already existing in the universe. Yeah, that's a good one. Pardon me. Venture over, like Flash. I think there's the whole thing with John Constantine was in Arrow, and I think he would be fun to have on our show and enter magic into the world. It would be kind of cool to mix things up. Always keep the legends on their toes.
Do you have any inkling if that's going to happen?
No, but I know there's support for it, and I think it'd be fun. That could exist in our world, I think, even for a couple episodes. I mean, there's so many people. We could bring up new people, but there's so many people who've already existed in this world who could have more time. So especially in Flash. I mean, Lisa Snart. You have pretty much everybody on that show who hasn't been on our show yet, yeah.
Next question.
Hi, Brandon.
Hi.
So I'm a big Christina Aguilera fan, and I know you have a little bit of a cameo in one of her videos. So
Yeah.
I was just wondering, how did you get that part?
Audition. It was one of my first auditions, actually. That was the coolest job that I got at the time. I booked one other TV, a sitcom job that was a small role, and I think that was my second job, was the Christina Aguilera video. And I was pretty excited about that, the What a Girl Wants video. Wait, no.
That is
Yeah, that's the one, right?
what a girl wants, yeah.
So that was pretty exciting. It was pretty special. A little starstruck, I think, at the time. Yeah, and you can see my face a couple times, and then my arms and my legs. get some cameos. So it was a lot of fun. It was a big moment back in 1999, 2000.
Ah, the good old days.
I mean, I made the video. I made Christina's career, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And last question, please.
Hi. I wanted to know, since the Legends have their destinies back in their own control, is Kendra and Ray going to get back together?
Ooh, well, that will be dealt with. That will be dealt with very soon. I won't give you that answer until we see Thursday night's episode. But I'd say there's a happy ending. I should tell you which ending it is.
For that, you must watch on Thursday, CW. What time?
That's right. 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
Thank you so much, Brandon, for being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.